All right, man, we back with another episode of the Endure All Things podcast. Today I'm honored. I have a very special guest in the building. My guy, a legend. This is a guy who was a Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of high school, a 5-star recruit, which is hard to do, not easy. A Georgetown commit, started in big time games as a true freshman. Has awards at the University of Nebraska, a legend, a professional basketball player, a true professional. Yeah. We got Issac Copeland in the building, man. Appreciate you being here, my boy. What's good?
Yeah, chilling, man. Chilling. You can't call it, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you living?
Living good, man. Life's good.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So, I just want to cover your story, cover your journey, and how you got to this point. And I want to start from the beginning, man. Tell me about Issac Copeland with the game of basketball. What's your earliest memories of basketball?
My earliest memories, my dad was my coach playing Raleigh Rec League. And my first year, he was so mad with me because the whole season, I didn't shoot not one shot. So to this day, we still joke about it. He was my coach. The coach's son is usually the one that shoots the most. But that first year, I didn't shoot at all. So that whole off season, he was like, I want you to be a black hole. And I was like, what you mean by that? He's like, every time you touch the ball, shoot it. Make, miss, air ball, I don't care, shoot it. So then the next year is when I just started shooting everything and trying to find myself and just enjoying basketball instead of being scared.
For sure.
Yeah.
So having that's an important topic in regard to having a father or having a father figure, especially when you're, when you're an athlete or when you're anything in this society, having someone to look up to. What role did your father play in terms of your early development stages with basketball or just becoming a young man?
Yeah, he played a huge role. I mean, he always pushed me to get in the gym, try new things. He couldn't really shoot that well, so he made sure I worked on my jump shot, so I was able to be a little bit different than him. And he played college basketball as well, East Carolina. So he knows a good amount about the game. But then, I got to the age where, I think I can do more if I don't work with you no more. It kind of hurt him a little bit, but he was like, I'm proud that you actually even wasn't a man enough to say that to me. I was probably 14, 15. But having my dad around even after that, in any way, we became more like a brother bond instead of like a father. He would just give me advice, tell me things I didn't really want to hear but needed to hear. So he was a pivotal point in my life, for sure, in my career.
Big time. Shout out to the fathers out there, man, especially the black fathers. We have a slew of good examples of that, especially in these last 10 years. When I think about athlete fathers, I think of LeVar Ball, I think of Deion Sanders. I think of who's a new one?
You got to throw LeBron in there too, man.
You got to throw LeBron in there. You got to throw LeBron in there. You met with LeBron before, right?
Yeah, not really meet him, but you go to the camp. You got to take a picture with him, say what's up.
For sure. Yeah, okay, so let's get into that. So tell me about when you began to play, were you highly sought after in the beginning? Because nowadays, or even when we were coming up, guys get ranked middle school, high school, so on and so forth. So tell me about your beginning stages of basketball and your development.
Yeah, I was definitely a late bloomer. The first time I started taking basketball really serious was probably 6th grade. Went and tried out for Garner Road. Wasn't sure if I was gonna make the team. I was so nervous I didn't take my sweatpants off at the tryouts. So I was just I'm out here trying to hoop, and I was just trying to make the team really. So I made the team, but I never really got no playing time. So I left for a little while, played with Raleigh Caps, BA4C Warriors. Shout out to Coach Sherrod, and then we was at the Salvation Army getting it in. Clee Sherrod, I don't know if you know him, but he's a good trainer out here. He trains some local guys, and they played a huge role in my development for sure. Me building that confidence, figuring out what I want to be, and so I really wasn't ranked or thought of like that, except for if you saw me and kind of worked with me and saw me maturing and stuff. Nobody really knew who I was, so I didn't get ranked until my junior year of high school, my reclass year.
The Endure All Things podcast is sponsored by Check Back Drive. If you are looking to keep your loved ones safe, we have a product proven to help save lives. Check out our website at endureforever.org. That's www.endureforever.org. Drive safe, drive sober, endure forever.
My first 3 years I did at Ravenscroft. My junior year we had won the state championship, but I was the only player on the whole team that didn't get a single second of playing time. And I may still have it on Facebook somewhere. It's like a picture of me. I made sure to keep my warm-up jersey on so everybody, I can remind myself, like, I didn't play in this game. Like, it's a special moment for the school, but for me, it's like, what did you do? You did nothing for the team, but clap your hands. So like, I use it as motivation, and going into that summer, I already knew I was transferring and leaving. I was going to Miller School out in Virginia. It's a boarding school, and I was like, I gotta do something. Like, my time running out, and everything changed for me in a matter of 2-3 months.
So kind of going back from that junior year at Ravenscroft, I remember you, I think it was your freshman year, our freshman years.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing this tall, slinky kid.
Yeah.
He wasn't 6'8" yet. He was like 6'3", 4", something like that.
I want that tall back then.
You know what I mean? And at the time, I was ranked, so I had I was like, who this dude? You know, in my head.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, that come up when you went to Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this dude is different.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm curious to know, like, what you did different. What was your mentality? First and foremost, who was on that team at Ravenscroft that you played on where you wasn't really playing like that?
Yeah, so we had Madison Jones, he ended up going to Wake Forest, and Seton Hall, starting point guard. My boy, one of my best friends, Anton Gill, went to Louisville, and then we played together in Nebraska. He was ranked. We had Andrew Franz, one of the coldest white boys I've ever seen. I think he played D3 at Hampton Sydney. He was really smart, but he was nice. He could really hoop. I think he could have played at a higher level maybe, but regardless, we all know he was good. Who else did we have? I don't know if we had Joe that year. Joe Hopkins, I don't know if we had him or not.
Those three names that you just named, it's like, it's crazy how the generations of basketball kind of change. It's like if those guys were in this generation now, it would be mayhem. It would be maniac, you know, at Ravenscroft. Those are talented guys. It's like I don't really see that anymore.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, it seems like that generation just had so much talent that a lot of kids got overlooked. You know, because when you say Anton Gill, he was the number one player in the nation. I remember at a point.
Number one?
Or he was like
number one.
He was like number one shooting guard.
Oh, he was high. Yeah, he was high up there, but he wasn't number one. I ain't giving that.
I remember at the Dave Tellep. Did you ever go to the Dave Tellep Challenge?
I did. That after that state championship, he invited me to go. It was actually at Ravenscroft that year. Yeah. So I remember that. That was my first like big event, I guess you could say, that I went to, big camp or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So what did you do differently from leaving Ravenscroft, going into Miller, to transition your game? I know you grew some. So was it just the development of your body, you think it was, or did you put more work in, or how did that kind of transpire?
Well, just kind of give you a better like layout of how everything happened. My freshman year, I was like really like 5'10", 5'11". And then I grew to 6'6", and going into my sophomore year that summertime. So I grew really fast, and I made varsity that sophomore year. Didn't really play, but it made sense. We had Joe. That was the year Joe, he was a senior. He was going to Florida State, and everybody else I already named, they was already on the team. So I knew I wasn't going to play. Then that junior year was supposed to be my year. I hurt my knee, like fractured my growth plate because I was growing so fast. The growth plate was so soft, and I was trying to be explosive and stuff. And that's kind of how that happened. Pushed my year back, and by the time we got to like January, I was trying to get into the rotation. It didn't really work out. So really, I was looking at it like the past 3 years was kind of just a wash, and I'm like, I'm young for my grade, so I'm gonna reclassify, but I gotta make it worth something. So that summer, I just was just trying to kill, and I was on Garner Road. I went back to them. Anton was on the team, Marcus Bryan, Devontae Graham, Tyrone Outlaw, Isaiah Hicks. I mean, that's all D1 players right there.
Yep.
So all the coaches was coming to watch them. I'm gonna use this opportunity to like they can leave remembering me as well. So I just made my point every single game to do something that they'd be like, oh, who's number 11 right there? We gotta look him up. We gotta keep following him. And that's how I kind of got my name off of my teammates.
So who was your, do you remember your first offer or your first days of recruitment? Who contacted you first?
Yeah, my first offer was East Carolina. My dad went there. We went to team camp out there my sophomore year with Ravenscroft. We was killing. So I kind of figured that was gonna happen that way. My first big offer was UVA though. Virginia, I went to their elite camp, and Tony Bennett, he was the coach at the time. And after the camp, he's like, come meet me in my office. I was like, what'd I do wrong? He's like, look, man, I don't know what you're gonna be or what you're gonna do, but I want you. So we're gonna be the first one to set it off at the ACC and give you an offer. And after that, like schools I never talked to just started offering me just because he offered me. It was kind of crazy, but that was my big like, okay, I'm doing something right now.
And this was after you left Reverend's Call. This was during that Miller.
It's all that summer. I'm telling you, that summer, that 2-3 months, whatever it was, I went from 0 or like 3 offers to like 30 plus, and like high majors in the mix too. So yeah, it was different.
So how does that feel? That transition from, all right, I'm 5'10", I'm a freshman. You know, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this hoop thing. You know, I have a good background. My father's encouraging me. I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting any playing time till now. You getting Power 5 school offers. You getting people that's pulling for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different spirit. It's a different vibe right there. So what's going through your head at this time?
It was happening so fast. I was just kind of like, I didn't even have time to even really enjoy it. It was getting annoying at a point. I don't like being on my phone like that, talking on the phone. And you know, them periods happen, them little live periods where they can call you. It was just like one after the other, like just constantly. And I was like, it's annoying, but at the same time, I felt like it was about time it happened. I spent enough time looking at Anton and Marky and all my friends, going to their locker. They open the locker, all the college letters falling out. Like, that's how many schools wanted them. I go to mine, it's just books, you know? So I was like, it's about time somebody recognized who I could be and who I am, and it just pushed me to, you know, to keep getting better.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so now you're at Miller. That's in Virginia, right?
Yeah, it's in a small city called Crozet, Virginia. It's about 20-30 minutes from Charlottesville, so right by UVA.
Okay, so what was that experience like?
It was cool. It was my first time like being away from home like for a long period of time, but it wasn't too far, and I had some good teammates out there. There's nothing to do out there. You out there running, playing basketball, going to class. That's it. But we made the most of it, so I had a good time out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to Miller. You have a good year. This is your reclassed junior year.
Yep.
And then now you're going into that summer with a name, with momentum, right? How did that go? Because I remember that stage. I remember when Issac Copeland kind of arrived, you know, and everybody, now you like in the top 50 now at this point. So tell me about that stage, how you attacked that summer, how you went into that following year and the transition that took place.
Yeah, so even back to like the Miller days, like after what I did that previous summer, I kind of was just the big name in the area. So anytime we played, people was coming at me. We got into certain tournaments because I was on the team. We had some other good players though, don't get it wrong. We had, I think, 4 D1 players on that team too. So we had some talent, but obviously they was coming to see me play, and like I was the highest rated on the team. So it was just like different having a target on my back instead of the one trying to make a name for himself. So it was I had to be aggressive. I had to perform and protect my name pretty much. So it was fun though. I really liked that. I like that side of it more than going and taking somebody else's spot, to be honest.
Facts. So can you remember any like early stages of competition, or like were you on the hunt for anyone who had that #1 spot or who was ranked higher than you, or those guys that were in that class that played your position?
Yeah.
Who are some names that stand out that you can recall?
Kelly Oubre. I remember we played him. I had no idea who he was. And they was like, you know who that was? I said, I have no idea. I said, that's Kelly Oubre. I was like, okay. I looked him up. I was like, oh, damn. Like, oh, that's Kelly Oubre. He nice, though.
Yeah.
I had a good game. We beat them. He was on the Adidas circuit for some reason that tournament. He ended up going to Nike. But I remember him. I'm trying to think before I went to all the camps. When you go to the camps, everybody there.
Yep.
You don't really got to like be caught off guard. We played Joel Embiid. I didn't know who he was at the time. And I think he was like his 2nd or 3rd year playing basketball. His team was stacked though.
He had Casey Hill. He had that 7-foot big man. Was it Frazier? No, not Frazier.
No,
I forgot his name, but he was super cold.
Yeah, their team was nice. Their team was loaded. Because Casey Hill was the big name on the team.
Right.
I ain't know nobody else but Casey Hill. And we was like, hey, look, we was watching the Hoop mixtape the night before the game. Was like, hey, don't you end up on the next one?
Right.
So that was cool. But yeah, you run into all type of people on the circuit, for sure.
Okay, so after that, you're playing these guys. You're in the talk of the town. You're in the blogs. You're in the hoopla. Tell me about how you decided to attack your recruitment and to choose the college that you went to. How did that transition go, like from your senior year going into college?
Yeah, so I kind of knew going into my senior year, I didn't want to deal with it. So I treated my last, I think I committed before AAU even started the last year, because I wanted to just go out there and just play. Not worry about who coming to watch me play. Just let it be about my teammates and let's go win some games and other people get some shine pretty much. So I committed before AAU even started the last don't call it your senior year, but your last year at AAU, I committed before that. And I don't know, I had a lot of options. Georgetown was always on me the heaviest. And Coach Hunter, he's at Texas now, and he was at Nebraska too when I went there. He was one of the coolest guys I ever met. Like as a person, he made sure like we had conversations outside of the game. So I think that was really important. And he's always made sure we were straight, no matter what we had going on. He could come talk to you about basketball, family, girls, whatever. And it's kind of hard to find someone that's the same person, maybe even better once you get to the school as opposed to when they're recruiting you. Because they're gonna tell you what you wanna hear, make it sound all good before you get to the school. And when you get there, a lot of coaches switch up on you.
Yep.
He never has, and even to this day, we still close.
That's fire. Yeah. Shout out to him. It's not a lot of real coaches out there.
Yeah.
Especially, I can't speak for this time because the money is different.
Yeah.
But then it was like, man, it was just like shark infested waters. Everybody's after everybody. Matter of fact, I remember a time, I think I took a visit to University of Miami, and they had, like before I got there, they sent me a picture of some shoes. I think I posted on Instagram, like, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And you hit me up, you was like, bro, they sent me the same picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, they out here doing the same thing. So it's kind of funny. But okay, so you chose Georgetown before your senior year to kind of get it over with. Do you feel like that was a good decision overall, like in retrospect, like choosing that particular school?
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. I had a little girlfriend at the time. She was a year older because I reclassed. She was going there. Obviously my relationship with Coach Hunter helped a lot. That made sense. And I don't know, I just kind of was looking at it. They did a good job of timing it up. And I went to the Georgetown-Syracuse game, like the last time they was both in the Big East. It was so packed in there, like my phone wasn't even working. So I was like, man, I want to be a part of this. And they won by like 20 points. So it was rocking. Otto Porter was there, Greg Whittington, all of them was there. So it was a crazy sight to see. It was like kind of like when you see that, you're gonna commit, not realizing like the system and how they play. Is it really the best for me? So I feel like in retrospect, I shouldn't have went there, or maybe looked at other options a little bit more than I did. Take my time a little bit more and make sure like I knew what I wanted out of basketball. Because I kind of was like, maybe I can go to the NBA, maybe not. If I was more professional about it, like these kids are now, I would have probably looked at other schools a different way.
And that's what I was gonna ask you, because for me, and for kind of gauging other individuals, once you get into that top 50 threshold, it's like everybody knows, all right, I got a chance to make it to the league. So is that how you kind of looked at yourself? Like, all right, I'm going to the league. Once you crack the top 30, it's pretty much like you're league bound, or you got a good opportunity. You're going to be on a draft board, going into college, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So did you look at yourself like that? Like,
nah, that's the crazy thing. I didn't, and that's why I was like, maybe that's something I had to work on, or like I don't know if I wish I would have approached the game that way. Like the prime example of this is like, you can still look it up. Devin Booker at the NBA camp played one-on-one with Andre Iguodala. We all up there eating lunch. He out there playing one-on-one with him. It's like, I don't even care what y'all doing with what's going on with camp. I got to finish high school, 1 year of college, and that's what I'm gonna be. And it's just like certain guys you could just see like they knew they was gonna go. They wanted it so bad. They convinced themselves in their head so bad that they wanted it, that they was gonna make it happen. And I wasn't one of those guys. I just kind of kept playing, kept working, and I was like, oh, this is what happened. And if I was more intentional and more like, I can actually do something, I think things, would have turned out different.
Wow. It's funny that you say that, because I can recall at the Nike Elite 100 camp, I remember Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell, a guy that played at Maryland. We were all getting taped. And like certain guys were eating like snacks and stuff, like gummies and stuff. And I remember Devin Booker was like, nah, I don't really eat that, bro. I'm taking care of my body. I'm a pro. I was like, in my mind, at the time, you know, I didn't really think of it. But as years went on, I was like, oh my God. Like, he was on that. He was on that. And after that camp, that he got invited to LeBron and he shot up out of there. So let that be a lesson for any parent out there, the kids that are maybe watching. You know, professionalism will take you further than your talent will.
For sure.
So, okay, so tell me about your freshman experience at the University of Georgetown now.
All right, so we can't skip Brewster. I'm sorry, we gotta go back to Brewster.
Okay, you went to Brewster.
Yeah. We gotta go back to Brewster. So after Miller, I had this name, committed to Georgetown. Turns out my coach at Miller got fired. I don't know what happened. Something happened, and he's like, hey, I'm out. He was like, well, damn, like, we was looking to the left and right, what y'all doing? Most of the seniors had left, so it was like 3 of us that was coming back. And I was like, yeah, I'm not playing with just y'all. Like, no offense, but like, I want to go somewhere else. So Coach West, who runs Garner Road, he was like, look, TJ went to Brewster. It worked well for him. I think you and Devontae should go together since he's trying to get out of the App State situation. And he'll do a post-grad, you do your 5th year there as well, and y'all make it work. So we went out there, and it was a battle, man. That's probably the best team I played on. Well, yeah, probably the best team I played on, honestly, talent-wise. We had 4 NBA draft picks on that team. Name
those guys.
Yeah, let me make sure I got them all. We got Devontae.
That's Devontae Graham.
Yeah, Chris McCullough, Jonah Bolden, Donovan Mitchell, and then we had, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, Jared Terrell. He played too. We had 5 on that team, 5 on one team. And I think Jared got like a 2-way or something. I'll count that. He was in the league, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I respect it. So we had 5 NBA players on that one team. So you gotta understand, like, out there we didn't play pickup up and down. We played the 4-on-4 cutthroat half court every day. So it got intense. Like, you get your ass busted some days you be the one killing. It just breeded, like, you know, competition and just learning how to rotate and communicate and get to know your teammates and stuff. So we ended up winning the national championship that year. We lost 2 games all season. And yeah, that was a great year, big year for all of us. So coming off of that, I'm going to Georgetown. I moved up in the ranks. I was like top 25, top 30, whatever it was, depending on what site you looked at. And I don't know, they was just kind of, you know, expecting me to do big things. And at first, I just wasn't ready. Like, I was talented enough, and I think I had to get stronger and learn the system. You know, the Princeton offense ain't that simple until you like get used to it. A lot of back doors, a lot of timing, a lot of being able to just, you know, make the right pass. And I'm used to like, look, let's get out and run, let's play, let's throw alley-oops. We couldn't even throw alley-oops over there. So like, it was a complete like change of pace. And we had 5 seniors and 5 freshmen come in. So we was kind of clashing with them until we could figure out how to make it work. And I think it was like the perfect storm for us. Once I figured it out, started getting some time, hit the game winner against Butler, everything changed, so. Yeah.
Fire. Not to backtrack just a little bit, but I'm curious, did you get recruited by UNC?
Yeah, I got recruited by them and took a visit, but Justin Jackson committed, and after that, it was quiet.
Okay.
Good choice on their part. I mean, shoot, they won that championship with him, so.
For sure.
On that.
Okay, cool. I was curious. So you had some standout game or standout games that freshman year. The buzzer beater against Butler. How was the camaraderie? How was the team? How was that? How were they embracing like a top 20 guy coming in? You know, you coming in that freshman year, coming in and having those stinks. How did that go about? You know, towards the end of the season, like how was everybody? That team correlation?
Everything was good. I mean, after they saw we could really play, it helped them win some big games like on the road. I mean, game winners, like you earn respect, but they weren't just gonna give it to us just because we was ranked or whatever. You know, they wanted us to go out there and compete and show like we belonged because they've been in the trenches for 4 years. Like if I'm a senior and I ain't really did too much, I don't care who you are coming in. You gotta earn my respect. So it took us a little bit of time. Some faster than others. Like LJ, he came out the gate. I think he beat AI's scoring record for a first game at
LJP.
Yeah,
wow.
LJ Cole. He was going crazy. He was the first one that they was like, okay, he liked that. And then Paul White from Chicago, he was the next one. They was kind of like, okay, cool. And then they was kind of looking at me like, you was ranked higher than both of them, and they better than you? And I was like, all right, I got to do something to kind of show them why I got that ranking and stuff. So it took me a little bit of time, but I figured it out, and I definitely earned their respect.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. So going into your sophomore season, what was that mentality like, and how did you attack it? And tell me about that transition.
Yeah. So what did we do? So freshman year, we ended up going to the tournament, had a 4 seed, won the first game, and we lost to Utah. They had a good team. That was Kyle Kuzma, DeLon Wright, Issac Copeland. That's 3 NBA players right there. And we lost. They had us all the way out in Oregon. Where was we at? In Portland. We was in Portland. So it was basically a home game for them. We don't got no fans out there in Portland. Why they make us fly from DC all the way over there? So that's neither here nor there. But
who's the starters on that team for y'all that year?
Yeah, so we had Devontae Smith-Rivera, Code, Jabril Trawick, Code, me, Mikhail Hopkins, and Josh Smith. Big Josh, 6'10", from UCLA, 3 something. But he was good. So we had a really good team, good mix of young and old. So all the old guys was leaving, and it was like mainly young guys coming in the next year. So we was kind of like, we were good enough to do this. We just couldn't quite figure it out that sophomore year. I don't really remember, it's kind of a blur, but we didn't have that good of a year. We didn't have a good year.
Was that wasn't your last year at Georgetown?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
You came back for your junior year.
Yeah, I came back for my junior year. I got hurt in the preseason, hurt my back, and tried to play through it. They told me it wasn't that serious, but I was barely able to like get up and walk to go to class. So after, it was probably like right before the Christmas break, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this no more. I'm leaving. I remember, matter of fact, we was in Miami playing LaSalle. We played them at the Miami Heat, whatever they call it, the American Airlines Arena, that right there. And I told one of the assistants, like, yo, like, I'm not playing, like, I'm done. I ain't tell them I was leaving, but I said I'm not playing. Like, I'm gonna dress out, but I'm not playing. Tell them not to sub me in the game. So I had lost my starting spot. We went to, I'm skipping forward. I'm skipping all these things. Really, where the year went left, my back was already hurt, but I was still playing. We went to
injure your back, not to cut you off. How did that injury happen?
I don't know. I just kind of fell during practice, and the next day I woke up and I was like, man, it don't feel right. It don't feel right. But they told me to take like some Tylenol, Advil, whatever, put a heat pack on. We had a scrimmage. I did good. And I was like, okay, maybe I can play through this. And I think over time it just kind of got worse. Like little bumps you get throughout the practices and games, just kind of added up. So fast forward to Thanksgiving, we go play in the Maui Invitational out in Hawaii. Playing Oklahoma State, I go to the basket, I score, but a dude hits me in the eye. I break my orbital bone, and even right now, like you can't see it right now, but like if you touch my face, you can feel like a dent in my face from when I broke my bone right there. And I think I got a concussion then too. I remember everything clearly, but it was just so loud, my ears was ringing, and the coach was yelling at me. I said, yo, get out my face. I snapped on him. And I was done the rest of the game. Found out I broke my orbital bone in my face. And then like, it just kind of didn't feel right after that. I tried to come back and play, but I was just like, yeah, I'm cool. Like my back is really the issue, not my face. So decided I was gonna leave. Ended up going back home, coming back here to Raleigh, and got the same. I took my same MRI to 3 different doctors, and they were like, there's no way you should have been on the court. And I was like, okay, so we're gonna remember that when it's time to get my immediate eligibility when I transfer. So yeah, that was a rough time, man. Like everybody was kind of like, what's going on with him? Like on Twitter, it's going crazy. They're talking shit about me. I mean, rightfully so, but they don't know what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? So that junior year was wild.
So how do you feel, I guess, in retrospect about that time in regard to a university not necessarily taking that injury as serious as it was, or misdiagnosing you, not giving you the right protocol? Because if you come home and you get these, you go to 3 different people and they're telling you you're not supposed to have been playing,
right? And
they gave you a different report or an opposite report. Like in retrospect, like how does that play on your mental, or how do you feel about that?
I mean, I was pissed off, honestly. I was mad. But at the same time, in retrospect, like you're saying, like in the moment I was mad. But now looking back, I was like, it needed to happen. I needed a reason to leave Georgetown. And I wasn't just gonna quit and leave, like, just because I didn't like it, or I didn't feel like I fit in well no more, or whatever the case may be. I'm not the type to do that. I'm gonna figure it out no matter where I'm at. But that injury, it helped me grow up. It helped me go through some adversity, and just kind of become more of a man, and like be more calculated with my next decision, as opposed to the first time when I decided to go there. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna go here. I had to really like think about what was best for me, like where am I gonna go and actually leave my imprint on the program and make it feel like it was all worth it. So I'm happy it happened.
Wow. This is why, NIL is important now. These kids got the opportunity, blessed with the opportunity to receive NIL because of stories like this, where you have an injury and the university may not have done you justice, or a person has to transfer and they may not get they may not have the better end of the stick out of that due to the NCAA. You get to be a top player and receive something rather than nothing.
Yeah. So
NIL is extremely important, and those athletes that have the opportunity to receive that today should take full advantage of it. In my opinion, I think that I think that that's important, especially for that story right there. So tell me about how you now transition from leaving Georgetown, from having this injury, to committing to the next university that you went to.
Yeah. So back to Coach Hunter. As soon as I announced that I was transferring, it was like an ESPN notification. So my phone was going crazy. Everybody saw it, and he's the first one to pick up and call me. He's like, "Look, I know it don't sound glamorous, but like, come check out Nebraska." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, man." We got off the phone. So I got on Instagram Live. I think Live had just started coming out. And my boy James Palmer, he had hopped in and he was like, "Yo, come out to Nebraska." And I was like, okay, that's the second person that said that. Maybe I really will give it a chance. And it was like, once you get here, you'll see it's way more than what it sound like. You think of Nebraska, you think it's just cornfields and just windmills and stuff, like ain't nothing out there but grass. But it's a nice community, great fan base. Every game sells out for every sport. And once I got out there and saw the facilities, like, it was crazy. It was better than what we had at Georgetown. Living was better. Just everything about it, I was like, this is what I want out of college. It's a college town. Get to play for a place that really like cares about us and only us. So I was excited about it. It was a no-brainer.
Wow. So at that point, are you thinking about pro? Are you thinking about just getting healthy? Like, what's your mentality like after that point of having this injury that's unbeknownst to you, that you don't really know what's going on, but you can't, you're not feeling like yourself and you're not being yourself. So what was your mentality like for the next level, for pro or money, right? Because that's what it's for at the end of the day. It's all about the chicken.
For sure.
So what was your mindset like at that point?
My mindset was get healthy first. I can't make no money or go pro if I can't play. So first step was like to go out there, get comfortable, do my prehab, get ready for surgery. Like, it was all like we had a whole plan together. It was like, look, you're gonna get here in January, because I trained, like I said, before Christmas I transferred. So January come around, I go out to the school, get acclimated, start doing the prehab. I think I had surgery like in February. Got that done, and it was kind of like, we're just gonna build you up. So then by the time summer hits, you can start getting the workouts, and we're gonna have you ready to play next season. But we gotta get you approved from the NCAA. Because back then when you transfer, you just had to sit out a year. Right. But because I had all the evidence that like, they did me wrong, 3 other doctors said I needed surgery, they was like, okay, you can play right away. So everything, literally the plan worked out perfect. So it was just about getting your confidence and your body back right to where you can just go out there and play without thinking like you ever was hurt. So to answer your question, I just care about getting healthy first.
So what exactly was the surgery on, and what was the injury exactly?
Yeah, so I had back surgery. I had a herniated disc on my L5 and my S1. Lower part of your back was like on the right side. And the biggest thing, like, people feel like pain down their leg and they think something wrong with their leg. So at first I was like, my hip messed up, maybe my hamstring, but really it was sciatic pain. So when your vertebrae and stuff, your spine gets crushed, it sends down that sciatic pain down your body and you feel it in other parts. So That's why I couldn't walk to class. It wasn't because my leg was messed up, it's because my back was that messed up. So instead of having that space that I needed to like have a properly functioning back, it was just like that one segment was just crushed like this. So
Wow.
yeah, that's how that played out.
So how long did you play on that when you were at Georgetown?
Yeah, summertime, shoot, probably like from July to like November, something like that.
That's a lot of miles.
Yeah, I think I remember the play specifically where it got really bad. We played Maryland at home, tried to go up on like a normal play I would dunk, but I just had to lift, man. And went up, got blocked by Demonte Dodd. Shout out to my boy Demonte if he watches this. Pinned my shit, bro. And I fell to the ground, and I just kind of sat there for a second like, man, that hurt more than it normally would when you fall down. Played the rest of the game, but like, yeah. I had 13 and 13 in that game, which sounds decent, but my field goal percentage was terrible. Like I was just out there forcing it. And that's when I realized like I'm just out here just trying to make some shake off of this, and they're not understanding how bad it is. And I don't even know what's going on. But after that moment, I was like, yeah, something really wrong.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Yeah. Sciatica is nothing to play with. I hear.
And I wish that upon nobody, bro. Like you can't sleep. You can't just sit on the toilet to use the bathroom. Like, imagine you try to, take a shit, bro. You can't even get right. You're just doing this the whole time. Like, it affects every part of your life, man. Like, no part of my day was smooth. No amount of medication I took, no Advil, no nothing. The only way I could fix it when it's to that point was to get that surgery for real.
Wow. So, Georgetown, y'all owe my boy a bag, man. From July to that whatever that last game was, that's kind of crazy to play on that level of injury, that excruciating pain, and to put your body through that and then misdiagnose you and then you have to get surgery. Yeah. That's wild. So you got your surgery at Nebraska when you transferred to Nebraska?
Yeah. So they knew my whole situation. They're like, we're gonna take you as is. This is what we're gonna do for you. Like, how's that sound? And I was like, hey, that's perfect. Perfect with me, shoot. And I knew two people there that had the same surgery already. So I asked them like how the doctors were, and they were like, yeah, they're valid out here. You should do it. Wow. So, Wow. And the scary part about that surgery is they don't know how bad it is to get in there. So before I'm laying on the table or the bed or whatever, and they're like, all right, we're gonna tell you this now. Either it's gonna be a simple surgery, we just go through your back, or we get in there, we see it's worse than we expect. We have to go through your stomach, move through your intestines and all that to get to the spot. And I was like, man, please don't have to do that, because the recovery was like twice as long and it was gonna hurt more. So as soon as I woke up from surgery, I said, did y'all have to go through my stomach? And it was like, no. And I just laid down, I was like, thank God. I didn't care about nothing else after that. Yeah.
That's tough, bro. Any athlete, any person in general that had to come from, it's hard to come back from back surgery. Mm-hmm. Back and knee surgery are like two of the main pivotal surgeries that individuals suffer with, or that's challenging rather. So that's commendable to have gone through that and come back and play a healthy season, right, at Nebraska? Yeah. So how did that situation come about? After you recover, you have the surgery, and a lot of people don't know that when you miss a year in basketball, that's a long time. That's a long time to miss basketball, because those miles, it's an everyday, ever-going process. And so the rhythm that you have to get back, the timing that you have to get back, the confidence that you have to get back is tough to do. So how was that for you?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, my first contact practice, I was frying, but then you got to realize you got to do it again the next day. So your body ain't ready for that yet. Mentally, you're so ready to go out there and play, and you're so excited. Of course, the adrenaline gonna carry you through that first time. But then you gotta get back into that, like you said, the everyday reps. So it took me a little bit of time to get my practice legs and all that going, my basketball legs back. And then I think it was my 5th game there, I had 30. So I figured it out eventually. But at first it was kind of he ain't really shooting like that. I had a couple plays, but it wasn't what I expected from myself. But after I had 30, I was okay, I'm healthy again, I can do this.
That's what's up. Do you remember who y'all played that game?
Yeah, North Texas. So It was a game that, like, you know, most people like not really paying attention to. I don't think think people was away on break. We was about to go to a Thanksgiving tournament out in Orlando. So it was kind of like a day where we was challenged all week in practice because coach knew like we might come out slow and sluggish. Like we gotta actually wake up to play this game. And I knew for myself I had to wake up. I was like, look, I gotta get it together. So yeah, that's pretty much how that happened.
That's fire. So, man, a 30 ball out of an injury, that's huge. So that junior year, like what type of success would you say like you had? How would you grade yourself in retrospect after coming off of, you know, a misdiagnosis of an injury and rehab and surgery and all that stuff, getting your confidence back? Like how would you grade yourself? How you feeling today when you look back at it?
I feel great about it. I mean, we had good team success. I think they kind of hold us on the NCAA that year. We finished 4th in the Big Ten, really high. We only lost 5 games in conference. We was ranked. We had a lot of good things happen, and I was a big part of that. Second leading scorer. Had my best years from the 3. Actually shooting a lot of 3s too. So I shot like 38% from 3 that year. I was excited about that. I just felt like I had some good plays too. I dunked on Issac Copeland. He's like 7'3". So doing that after just the year before, I was in the bed, could barely get up. Like you got to be proud of yourself for that. So just being able to come back and show everybody I could do it, and prove to myself I could do it, because I never had surgery to that point before that. I felt really good about it.
So after that season, are you now at a point to where it's like, okay, I'm getting back on track, like pro, like I'm getting there? Like how was your confidence like going into that summer to attacking that next year?
Yeah, so after the season, me and James, we both put our names in the draft, you know, to try to get some workouts. Back then you couldn't get an agent to like, you know, help represent you in that unless you were like fully staying into the draft. So I take James, for example. He was first team Big Ten, averaged 20 a game. He only had 3 NBA workouts. That don't even sound right.
Right.
6'6" guard, like he's a prototypical NBA player. So that don't even sound right. Myself, I only had 1. I worked out for the Celtics. And it was tough. I ain't gonna sit there and act like it was an easy workout. It was tough. They ended up drafting Carson Edwards from that group. So it was, I guess I was in a good group with me, Carson Edwards, Charles Matthews, and a couple other guys, but it was a fun time. And I was thinking like, okay, maybe I can do something. Like I feel confident I could probably get a 2-way. That was my thing. But you only get one NBA workout. You're like, I ain't risking that for one workout. So we both decided to come back, and that was my goal. Like we gonna win, we'll make the tournament in 2-way. That was the plan going into my last year.
Okay. And then, so how did that go? How did that turn when you went to that next year? It's your senior year now at Nebraska. Just had an NBA workout. You got this momentum, new energy of confidence, and a new environment. You just had a successful year. Yeah. You going into that senior season. How does that go?
I mean, it started off really well. I mean, we all playing well. It's kind of like the same guys at the core group. So my junior year, we had probably like 10 rotation guys, and all 10 of us went pro. So that was really important for us to kind of experience that. And then the next year, half of them left. So it was kind of like a 6-man, 7-man rotation going into that year. We was like, look, we got a hoop, but we're good enough to do it. So we came out hot, lost a couple games, but we got ranked top 25, and we was kind of like, this is the year, like we got enough to do it. And we playing Ohio State at home. I get called for a travel. I just hit a 3, then I come down, pump fake an open 3. I should have took it. I'm gonna go into this in a second. I should have took that shot. Instead, I go to dribble, they call me for travel. Play's over with, but I still go to try to dunk. One dude jumps with me, bumps me a little bit. I land wrong, tear my ACL. It's over with. Season over with. So it took me a long time to even be able to like talk about it. I think I only watched the clip like twice. It wasn't even like a nasty clip, but I was kind of like, I don't even want to put myself in that moment while I'm still hooping. So like, probably like a year or 2 ago, I finally got over it where I was like, if I would have just took that shot, imagine what could have happened. If I airball, who cares? I'm still healthy. We still playing. Maybe we still make the tournament. If we do make the tournament, How many more pros do we have? Who gets drafted? Only one of us on that team got drafted that year. I think we could have had 2, maybe 3. But I'm just saying, like, that year, like, could have went so different if I just took that one shot. And like, those are the type of things you think about when you go to sleep, and you got a brace on your leg, and you're like, damn, I'm sitting here rehabbing. I'm getting excited to go take a shower when I could be out there playing and competing against Michigan State, Michigan, schools like that. So it took me a real long time to get over that. I feel like I did not only myself bad, but also my teammates. My coach got fired after that year. And it was just, it was a lot. There was a whole lot to unpack with that situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So those moments that, you know, you can kind of look back on and, you know, we think that, okay, a path might have gone this way, or a certain turning point, or if I would have done this, or if this play would have happened, so on and so forth. Are there any other moments like that in your career that you look back on?
Yeah. This one, thankfully, didn't end in no injury, nothing like that. But we're playing Duke in the Garden, sophomore year at Georgetown, and huge game, like 2K Classic Championship. You know, I grew up a Duke fan. I always wanted to play there. They never offered me. I was like, okay, I'm going into this game. Like, I wasn't good enough to play for you, but like, how about, am I good enough to beat you? So we take it down to the wire. I'm having a great game. I think it ended up with 23-9, something like that. And they miss a free throw. We down 2. I get the rebound. The way I'm playing, nobody else touching the ball. We got 5-6 seconds. I dribble all the way down, get a look at 3, miss it short. And I'm like, man, if I made that shot in the Garden against Duke, I was gonna stand on the table, you know, do the whole D-Wade. I was like, man, I needed that. That would have made me, that's something I could have talked about for the rest of my life. I would have made that one shot. But just the fact that I got to play against them on that stage was something I can appreciate now that I'm done.
That's fire.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so going back to the injury, the ACL injury, this is your senior year now.
Yep.
So this is now your second surgery?
Second, yeah.
Are you feeling like it's over, or is there's still hope there? Like, what's your mentality like? Because by the time you're a senior, you know, you've been on a draft board, and it's like, if you're a top 25 kid, most top 25 kids are like, all right, I'm one and done.
Yeah.
Right? Or then when your sophomore year, it's like, all right, what you doing still here?
Yeah.
Then your junior year, they're like, all right, it's over. It's like, you not, right?
Yeah.
That's how they view you, which is wild.
Facts.
So how are you viewing yourself at this point, you know, after those situations?
So at that point, I was kind of like, well, my two-way plan ain't gonna happen. The year before, I played at Auburn towards ACL and still got drafted, I think, or got a two-way, something like that, like drafted first round. But he was also like, he was different. He was like a freshman. Everybody knew he was going to the league. OG Anunoby, same situation. They just knew he was going to the league. Me, I'm a fifth-year senior. I already knew that won't happen. So I was like, okay, what can I do to like try to get another crack at the league when I'm healthy? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go the G League route. Biggest thing is to get healthy, get on the right G League team. And honestly, I tore my ACL in like February, or January, had surgery February. So coming back that fast, I played my first game in like December, before Christmas, like well before Christmas. That's pretty fast. I probably should have waited a little bit. But I came back, I felt like I was ready to come back. They threw me out there. I didn't do nothing that first game. Then you don't play for like 5-6 games. Hard to get reps in practice. There's a lot of things that came with the G League that I didn't understand. But my goal was to just get in the G League and then kind of go from there. So that year happened. In the middle of the season, March hits, and that's when COVID happens. So everybody at the crib. So people that had higher stock than me took a hit just from that situation alone. But the biggest thing with the G League, as far as, you know, going overseas and stuff, is that playing in the G League gets you good film to go play overseas. Me not having that much playing time, still recovering, not being 100% mentally or physically, honestly, kind of made it hard. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, like, as far as overseas. They would throw me these low ball offers. I was like, I ain't going there for that. That ain't happening. So that whole COVID year, I was at the crib just working out, trying to get back healthy. That's really how it played out for me. And I started going overseas after that.
Wow. Yeah, that COVID era was
Weird, wasn't it?
weird especially for the athletes.
Yeah.
That time, and that transition it was weird. It kind of reminds me of not necessarily reminds me of, but you remember that lockout year that the NBA had?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of guys' career, their trajectories changed from that. So it's pivotal from those windows that are open, or that are opening rather. A question that I wanted to ask you, going back to the college career before we go into the pros, who were some of the best guys that you played against up until that point that ring a bell?
Oh man, I gotta think. You want to go like by position, like who I had to match up with, or like just in general?
You can do matchup and just in general, who's just outright just.
Okay. Matchup, I got to tip my hat to Lamar Stevens. Played at Penn State, played in the league for a little bit. Now he's playing with Paris basketball. He was real good. He always gave me problems, but we went at it a lot. Him, Tyler Cook, played at Iowa. He was good. Jared Culver with Texas Tech, he got drafted. He was real good. There's a bunch, man. Trayvon Blewett from my Big East days. Keelan Martin. These all dudes that went pro.
Yeah.
All of them. So I played against some really good players when I think about it. And I'm trying to think who's the best college player I played, like regardless of position. I might have to go with Chris Dunn. When he was at Providence, he was a problem.
Yeah.
Like on both ends, like getting steals, we couldn't guard him. Like he was just a menace, man. Like I think he gave us the most problems that I've seen in college I can think of.
Who was on that Duke team at the Garden?
Brandon Ingram was on the team, Luke Kennard, Grayson Allen.
That class.
Emil Jefferson, one of the Plumlee brothers, he was there. Matt Jones.
Who was your matchup that game?
Matt Jones and Brandon Ingram. Yeah, I was playing strictly 3 at Georgetown. I ain't playing no 4.
That was more your style though, right? The 3?
I think it was cool, but my handle really won't like that. You know what I'm saying? To really play the 3 like in an open offense. Georgetown offense, I could dribble good enough to do it. But like coming out pick and rolls like consistently or like really handling the ball a whole lot, I do it a little bit, but not. I was never like a primary ball handler type. You know, so.
Understood.
If I get it, I'm trying to score real quick. You know, a couple dribbles, get to my spot, get a bucket.
Facts.
Yeah.
So tell me about that pro life. Like, how was that experience for you? What pro team did you take the bait on first, and where was it at? And tell me about that whole transition of life.
So what's crazy is I signed a deal to go play in Greece actually during COVID. Now I remember it, and my agent was telling me like they need you to play like next week. You ready to take a flight in like 3 days? I was like, damn, like I ain't hooped in I don't know how long. Like I thought we could go over there like have a little training camp, a little time to gear up. He's like, nah, they lost some friendly matches. They're in need of changing players, and they want to sign you over here. I was like, that don't even sound like my type situation. I'm not doing that. So that was my first deal. I signed it, but then he had told me that. I was like, actually, I'm not going. So I had to like pay some money to get out of that deal. Whatever the case was, that's what happened. Fast forward a couple months, team from Japan had called me, and I was like, at this time I knew nothing about Japan. I was looking at it like, what's Tokyo? Like I don't know how to this day. Like now that I look back, how do I not know about Japan? It's one of the best places in the world, honestly. So I did my research. Like, oh yeah, I'm going. This is where I'm going. So got out there, had to quarantine for 2 weeks. So I land this dark, rainy, and they like take us to the back stairwell to go to the hotel. Like, look, you're gonna be stuck in this room for 2 weeks. You can order food. We'll give you 3 meals, 4 meals a day, whatever. Any snacks you want, just let us know. We'll bring it. They were super nice. Like you need like a workout bike so you can stay in shape. We'll give you that. We'll give you weights. So I was just in that room going crazy, like mentally. Like I'd never been stuck in one place like that. My game wasn't working right, so I couldn't play the game with my friends. Like I was like, I need to get up out of here. So got out the quarantine, got to my apartment, got settled, and that's probably the best place I played, honestly. As far as the city, the team I played for, they took good care of us. They was only late on one payment by 1 day, and they like freaked out when they was, oh my God, we're late. We'll send it in the morning, and we got it right away. They paid you more extra after the season, like had bonuses and stuff. Like it was cool. I liked it out there.
Right, yeah. Which is a big deal because a lot of teams overseas will pay you late
Oh,
and like
yeah.
with no regard, like no remorse.
Yeah, like it's regular. Like, you didn't expect this?
Yeah.
We told you we pay you on the first. You expected it to come on the first? I'm like, yeah, that's what the contract say. Nah, it ain't happening, bro.
You got some experiences like that with who's your experiences like with
Yeah.
that situation?
So in Argentina, that's where I went after Japan. There was something with the not trying to pay taxes on our money for like their local taxes. So they was like, we're gonna pay y'all like every other month, or we'll give you the cash, but you can't. There was no way to send the money back to America. So I was like, I'm gonna have the money here, but how am I pay my bills back home if I just got cash and not my account? So that was frustrating. Sometimes it'd be like 2-3 months that you got cash in your crib, just American dollars sitting there. And like over there, like you could go exchange it like the little black market and there's like 2 different currencies. You could put it into this different currency and like triple your money for local. So you could live for real cheap out there, but you don't want that type of cash in your crib in a foreign country.
Yeah.
People could break in, take your bread, whatever. I'll never forget the first time they gave me cash out there. I hid it in the part of my closet, and I came back and my pillowcases was turned inside out. Like they was trying to look for my money. I was like, yeah, it's a good thing I put it where I put it. So I started carrying my money with me on the low, like, nah, like y'all not taking this with me. Like, I'm not finna go out like that. And they'd be like, we don't know what happened, we gave you the money. So that happened there. Let me think. After that, I went to Saudi after that. They hit us with some wild shit, bro. Like, honestly, we had played the best team in the league the first game of the year. We lost, but like we had a game. Like, I did decent. I did pretty good. And they had a meeting with us after the game, like, yeah, we're sorry guys, like we got to cut y'all salaries in half, something with the government and like the basketball federation. Was like, what? So the coach, he's not from there, he's from Serbia. He's like, yo, I'm not dealing with this. Like, if y'all trying to leave, let me know so we know who's gonna be here. I wouldn't be mad at y'all if y'all left. So I was like, how y'all gonna just cut our salary in half for that? Like, that don't make no sense. But that was the only time I had something like that happen. And then everywhere else was pretty much on time. So those are my 2 main times I remember being like, okay, it's a little weird. The Saudi shit's wild though. Half your salary just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And out there they throwing good money, so everybody can go out there because they want the bag.
Facts.
And you can't drink out there. You can't really go out and party like that. So that's how they get good players to come over there for the salary. And after that game, just cut it in half. Like, it don't make no sense. But hey, what you gonna do? You across the world.
Facts.
What you gonna do?
So you think your best experience overseas was which place?
Japan, easy, ain't even close.
And the reason is?
I was in the biggest city in the world. I could ride my bike and be at Tokyo Tower in 15, 20 minutes. I mean, food great, team take care of you, paid on time. We had the plug at the Nike store so we could go in and like the employee store or whatever they called it out there whenever we wanted. Had a black barber out there. I knew some other people out there in the leagues. Like there's 3 leagues out there. All 3 leagues is good. Like as far as like taking care of the players, having good competition, all that. The main difference is like the locals and like social media presence and whatnot. But Japan definitely is the best place.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So tell me about the other places that you played overseas and that experience over there, and give me the background of your professional pro journey.
Yeah, so after Japan, I went to Argentina. Argentina was cool. We had a good team, played Champions League, all that. Had a good time out there. I was in Buenos Aires. And I think it was the same year they won the, not the FIBA World Cup. I don't know, it's one of them soccer things where they won the whole shit for the world. So everybody, like the country was crazy, the city was crazy. And that was an exciting time. So after Argentina, I went to Saudi Arabia. This is when my overseas career started getting a little different. I was kind of like mentally checking out of basketball. I was like, I'm just going all these different places. I'm realizing it's a business. I don't really care like what really happens. I'm chasing the check at this point. That's when I was like, I kind of messed up. Like looking back, like I should have never like, you want to get money, but like you want to make sure your mind is still invested in what your body got to do, you know? So I went out there and didn't play as good as I was supposed to, and I got cut for the first time. And it was like, yeah, bro, like they tried to make a situation about the money getting split in half, but really like the reality was like they wanted somebody else for cheaper because I was the highest paid on the team, and we wasn't like one of the top teams in the league. So they was like, yeah, like you're not performing well enough for us to keep you here. We're gonna send you home. So I was like, all right, well, I never really dealt with that. I was upset, and my agent was like, you want me to find you somewhere else to go? Like while I'm already away from home. And I was like, no, I want to go back home and get my mind right. Mistake number 2 right there. While you're already gone, it's cheaper for a team to fly you from there where you at to where, you know, wherever you're trying to go, instead of going back to America, dealing with all that. So that's where I probably should have just stayed and been like, yeah, find me somewhere else and just keep playing instead of having some downtime, maybe not being in the best shape I want to be in. I go to Mexico next, and middle of the season, they had me playing center. I was like, I'm not no center for real, but hey, this is what I got to do on the team, I'll do it. And they really needed a center because the main guy had got suspended from FIBA on some weird shit, but he was still on the team. They wasn't trying to let him go in case they figured it out. And in the midst of that, they was like, well, we like you, but we're gonna bring in a real center and put him in your place. So I got cut again right then. This is all in the same like season type thing. So I got cut out there and I was like, man, what am I gonna do? Found a team in Ecuador and I was like, okay, I'll go out here and play. Literally had 21-11 after like one of the games, get cut after a nap. So I'm like, okay, like there's no way, what am I missing here? Like the first time I got cut, I'm like, okay, that's on me 100%. Second time, I'm like, I only played like 6 games, maybe more than that, but it was like, everybody was kind of like, yeah, we surprised you got cut, you better than the dude we brought in, but it's part of the game. The third time, there's no reason I should have got cut unless they just didn't have the money. It caught me off guard. They cut me in the point guard the same day. And we both just had double doubles and we won the game. Everybody else in the team was, you know, not that good, I'll be real with you. We just got some new players in, but it was kind of like just rotating people trying to find something that worked. And I think the team we had that game we could have did something, but they broke it up and we were all shocked. Cut the coach, sent him home. Like it was just the Wild West in Ecuador. So I was like, you know, I can actually sleep at night with this knowing like I did good and got cut. That feels way better to get cut when you had a good game than if you go out there and have 0. Because I did that. Saudi had 0 one game, got cut the next day. Crazy. So after that, I'm like, okay, I want to go somewhere that's stable and I don't got to worry about, you know, going through that type of situation. So got a deal out in Russia, guaranteed contract. I'm like, okay, I can live with this. Just make sure I got another American with me. We got an American point guard, cool. They're rushing me to come out there, but the American's not there yet. So I'm out there by myself for 3 games. First game I had 13, we lost, but I just only been there for like 5-6 days. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what y'all saying. Like, I don't know what y'all saying. The translator, he getting quiet during the game. So I'm just out here trying to figure it out. Next game, he kind of barely plays me. Third game, he barely plays me. Then another situation, I wake up from a nap, I get a call, you gotta come here and get an MRI. I'm like, MRI for what? I'm not hurt or nothing. So they try to say I had a tear in my ACL, but I just played 30 minutes in the first game.
Right.
How am I hurt? So really what it was, they was trying to find a way to not pay my guaranteed contract. So they gave me some bread, but it wasn't my full contract and sent me home. After that, I was defeated. I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't even want to watch basketball. So I come back home, like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know one thing I'm not gonna do, and that's hoop. That's over with. Like, I don't even want to think about basketball. I don't want to watch it. Barely was playing 2K. I was like heavy into Call of Duty because I was that's how distant I was from basketball after that experience. And yeah, that was a rough time right there for sure. And I was kind of just like, I don't know where to go from here.
Wow. Yeah, that's that basketball, that's that mental health from the depletion of the business from basketball, or just from the athlete perspective. Football players go through it as well, other athletes. But when you go through those different trials and those what people would call failures, you know, you hit a wall, especially when the business comes involved. When we started playing this sport for the love of the game, the camaraderie, and we want to get obviously we want to get to that point where we get paid. But what they didn't warn us about when we were young is the actual business aspect of it, the failures that will be placed on your shoulders and how to bounce back from those things. So, you know, you telling your story, you telling your journey, your experience is gonna help the next, because we didn't necessarily have these different outlets where guys will open up. So how did you notice your mental health? Like how did you attack your mental health from that point till now, getting through those situations?
Yeah, I noticed it for sure. It was days where I was like convincing myself to go lift, and I'd be mid-lifting like, what am I doing this for? And I would just leave. And I was like, I've never been that type of person to just be like, this means nothing, like, especially when it comes to my body and like my health, stuff like that. I always saw the purpose as it's for basketball, to get ready for the season. Oh, my knee's hurting, or my back's hurting, or whatever's hurting, I need to go to the gym to fix it. So my outlet for whatever was going on in life was just gone. So I was just kind of on the couch playing video games, you know. I had some money, but I was like, I don't know when the next check coming, I don't really care, I got enough right now, you know? So when you see that start to go down, you're like, damn, I really got to figure something out. Like, bills still coming, you still want to live and, you know, have a good life. I got to find the next step. So I definitely felt myself getting real down, shutting people out, stopped posting on social media, like, started getting mad when I looked at people having success overseas. And it's like, I've never been that type of person. Like, I always applaud and cheer for anybody I know and help, you know, wish the best for them. So I was way out of whack, way out of whack, bro.
What was your lowest point?
I'm trying to think. Oh, there might have been like a stretch of like 2-3 days. I just didn't move. My lowest point was probably before I even got back home, really. I had was on the phone with my mom telling her that like, hey, like, I think I'm done with basketball. And for some reason, the contract out there in Russia was like, I had to pay my own Wi-Fi, which I never had that situation happen. But they had cut my Wi-Fi off. So I'm mid-call with my mom, Wi-Fi get cut off. So I'm like, damn, good thing I got my international plan, but like that, I was really just sitting there like, they that petty that they gonna cut my Wi-Fi off.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a lot of shit happening at one time. And then on the way back home, I get stuck in Dubai. So like, I'm not about to just go out there and have fun. Like, I gotta stay close to the airport, so when it's time to go on my next flight, I can make it. I wasn't in the headspace for that anyways. Like, I'm just ready to get home. It took me like 2 days to get home. I feel like it took forever. So I was ready to get home and just kind of relax. But and then that time traveling, I felt every bit of the situation for sure.
Have you been able to watch the game?
Oh yeah. A lot has changed since then. Obviously, I have a brother that's playing at Ball State, so I wanted to watch his senior year of high school. So I kind of saw the positive in the situation. Like, if I was away overseas, I wouldn't be able to watch him, you know, him play. So I went to all the games I could while he was in high school. Started watching, you know, just basketball in general again after I watched him. But I wanted to see him and kind of watch him close that chapter and go to the next, you know, the next level before I could really like start enjoying basketball again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when can you pinpoint where it was like, okay, I'm making a decision to walk away and I'm okay with my decision now, right? When did that kind of settle in for you?
Once I found my purpose, really, like my next step. So I got a job doing like Medicare sales last February. And I was like, working from home, I was like, I really don't want to talk to nobody. I want nobody to see me, ask what I'm doing. Like, this is why I'm working from home. This is perfect. Man, I hated that job. I'd never been so uncomfortable while being in the house. Like, it just wasn't it for me. I felt like I was better than that, and I had more to do and more to give. So I got another opportunity doing commercial insurance now. I insure restaurants, trucking companies. I also still have my life and health licenses, so I can do that. I got 5 different lines of insurance I can sell. So really no limits on what I can do right now, to be honest. And the ultimate play I want to do is to get back to the youth, get back with these athletes, with NIL jumping off the way it is, and just making sure I'm using my story, for example, just protect yourself, protect your assets. You're a walking advertisement from high school on now. So just making sure these kids can understand that and make sure that they're protected and their family protected once they start getting that money. So
that's fire, bro.
Yeah.
That's fire. Purpose is that's the motivation right there.
For sure.
And my message for any former athlete, any person in general, if one situation depletes or falls, you find that purpose within the next. And you use that lived experience as motivation to be able to give life into what's next. So, bro, it's highly commendable to you, for you to have gone through all those situations, you know, because a lot of people look at situations like, well, woe is me, where I didn't make it through this, and you know, they just fold their hands and just, you know, feel sorry for themselves. And we see it time and time again, you know, where guys may delete their social media or whatever, what have you. And one of the worst feelings as an athlete is you go out into the world and people like, yo, you still hoop?
Man.
And you gotta, that reality, bro, it's like, what do I say? It's like,
Man.
it's a tough pill to swallow. You experiencing that,
Bro,
right?
what? Even still, people be asking me, but like, I can confidently say like, nah, that's what I'm doing now. Keep going though, like,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Like, I still pay attention to what you're doing. They be like, man, come on, just come hoop with us, man. I'm like, nah. I'll do, like, me and my friends, we did a church league back last, like, October. We went out there and we were about to start another one in March. So that's fun, but like, as far as me trying to get myself to the level I need to be at to play overseas, I don't see myself doing that. In my brain, like, perfect world, I would go do it, get through a full season, and I could walk away like knowing I got through it, I did it to prove to myself. But at the same time, I don't really feel like I gotta do it.
Yeah.
You know? That'd just be something I really have to sit there and be like, I can't sleep at night without doing this or trying to do it. And I ain't at that point.
Yeah.
I'm happy with what I did. Took me time to get to that point. But the ball stopped bouncing for everybody eventually. And mine just happened a little bit before I was ready to actually give it up.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's, like I said, that's commendable, bro, because a lot of people don't get to that point, man. A lot of people do not get to that point. So give some advice, you know, to those individuals that are going through that mental fog, you know, where they saw themselves getting drafted or they saw themselves having a successful career and it may not have gone like that, and they're overseas now, or they're on the way home now from overseas. A lot of guys are going through that right now. You know, what advice would you say to them to help encourage?
I'm gonna be real, like, the first piece of advice I can give is like, it's hard, like, it's just a fact. You go from, you know, traveling, playing in front of crowds, people looking at you as this special person, like special thing, and then it could just be gone like that. So you gotta find yourself and make sure you're comfortable in your own skin. Find other things you like. Start to plan for the future. I'm not saying you gotta be over there hooping and applying for jobs at the same time, but it won't hurt just to look and just to brainstorm about what you could do. Cause like I said, you're gonna stop playing eventually. It's nothing worse than you stop playing and you're back at the crib, don't have a plan. You got bills, you got things coming, and it's not gonna stop. It come same time every month. It's up to you to figure out what you're gonna do to take care of that and to keep progressing as a man. Because we are more than just basketball players, we are human beings. And I feel like a lot of times people get caught up in the glitz and glamour of the lifestyle and they forget that. So my biggest thing, just to sum it up into one point, is just to don't be afraid to look ahead to what's next. Like, be present in what you're doing, take care of your job, but also take care of your future.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fire. Man, I appreciate you coming on. You know, I wish all abundance and success to you for your future endeavors. You got a lot to give back to the world, a lot to give back to the youth with the NIL situation that is gonna be popping off soon.
Yeah.
So much success to you, bro. And you a legend. You know, all the things that you did, nobody can take that from you.
Facts.
And You got a little Isaac coming on the way, don't you?
Yeah, man. He ain't gonna be little Isaac, man. I
What?
ain't doing the third. I'm a junior. I told my dad, I was like, look, don't get excited, bro. Like, we're not doing that. He gonna be a whole different name, bro.
Heard
I
you.
got a son on the way. He due in July. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Nervous, but excited at the same time. You know, it's my first kid, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's lit, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, this is Issac Copeland, man. This is the Endure All Things podcast. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Appreciate you having
You know,
me,
a
bro.
legend. My
Sure,
man.